First and foremost, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash, and double honor to the elder apostles of the great millstone that have taught us this truth, and to include the elder bishops on down. And Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Brakatham to the overall elect, as we believe that we are, in the Shib Brother Laban. And what I'm going to entitle this video is that Jesus Christ is a demon. Now, I know I'm going to get a mixture of different point of views on a comment board just by putting this out here, but I'm going to explain what I mean by that, right? So without further ado, let's play this video in regards to this case over here, and I have other cases that I'm going to be speaking on as well. But let's begin with this one. So we're going to bring this all the way back.
Thanks for watching this edition of the Fox 7 Austin Crime Watch digital exclusive. I'm Dave Freilich, and we're taking a look at some of the crime stories that have made headlines recently in our area. Well, we're learning new details on what led to the triple homicide at the Target on Research Boulevard on August 11th that claimed the life of a Target employee, a 4-year-old, and her grandfather. In just under an hour, the suspect caused chaos from the north to South Austin. Fox 7 Austin's Jenna King has more.
I thought that this only happened like in the news and stuff.
Fayan Sagastume clocked into a shift at Target Monday afternoon, never expecting what would happen next.
I see like everyone just running towards me. I see two of my co-workers, you know. Then I hear in the radio like, oh, like shots fired. Then I don't know, like we just ran outside.
Around 2:15 p.m., APD says 24-year-old Target employee Hector Martinez Machuca was shot while collecting shopping carts by 32-year-old Ethan Nineker. Machuca was taken to the hospital but did not survive. Investigators say Nineker then fired at a Jeep before opening fire on a Toyota 4Runner, carrying 65-year-old Adam Chow, his wife, and his 4-year-old granddaughter. Chow and his granddaughter died on scene. His wife was hurt.
Innocent lives were taken in broad daylight in a place where people should feel safe to run their everyday errands and to live their everyday lives.
Police say at 2:20 p.m., Nineker assaulted the driver of a water truck on Mopac, trying and failing to hijack it. He then returned to the 4Runner, crashed it into a Volkswagen, assaulted that driver, and took off. This video from a driver shows a Volkswagen with damage speeding along West 5th Street in downtown Austin. The driver said it was about 20 minutes after the Target shooting. By 2:37 p.m., police say he attempted to steal a Waymo self-driving car and failed. Later, he apparently threw a brick through a home. At 2:58 p.m., officers found him naked on Montclair Street. Minutes later, after being tased, he was in custody.
Nineker has a history with the Austin Police Department, which includes assault causing bodily injury to a family member, driving while intoxicated, possession of marijuana, violation of a protective order, and 2 mental health reports.
Sagastume took cover outside of the store before being moved to a nearby business, where he spent hours in the aftermath. He's grateful to be alive, but says it's a day he'll never forget.
I've been here for a year and a couple months, like 3 or 4 months. And like this has never happened. You know, we have had to deal with crazy customers, but you know, nothing like this.
Would license plate readers have helped catch the Target shooting suspect? Austin Police Chief Lisa Davis believes that answer is yes, but they don't have those anymore. In Hays County, license plate readers are a tool. Commissioners continue to delay purchasing for the county. Residents have expressed privacy concerns. Here's Fox 7 Austin's Meredith Aldis with more.
Nineker is the man Austin police say shot and killed 3 people in the parking lot of a Target in North Austin, stole 2 cars, then was found in South Austin. APD Chief Lisa Davis says multiple 911 calls and APD's air support helped them find him Monday afternoon. Chief Davis says license plate readers would have helped too.
I'm a big fan of the and maybe not flock camera, definitely a fan of the LPR and what that can do. And when you're looking at violent crime such as this, it absolutely helps in the apprehension.
Flock.
Yeah, so I don't think they're going to say it, but this individual gave a confession This guy, Ninaka, however you pronounce his name, he gave a confession as to why he killed those 3 people. So as this reads, Austin Target's shooter admits to killing 3 people to save us all. Right? So now let's read about this confession from Ethan here. I have a confession to make. I killed a man and a baby girl today in Target. In the Target parking lot, I shot them both because I am Jesus, Ninaka said after the shooting. So there you go. So he had a Jesus demon in him that made him go berserko and started killing people. And the reason why I say it's a demon, because for one, he did what he did, which is case number 1, which is what we have here. This is the second case of someone else, which is said that they're Jesus Christ and had a cult set up. He had people that probably followed him and believed that he was. And guess what this resulted to? The same thing, all right? Because he lost his fucking mind because of that Jesus demon. So let's play this video as well.
57-year-old Vance Bolter, suspected of assassinating one Minnesota lawmaker and nearly killing another, was found overnight by police. He is said to have willingly turned himself over to officers after being...
and just those eyes just gives it all on it. He wasn't even there. The real him wasn't even there. The demon took over, man. Even this picture, too. Just to mention.
Field.
Bolter exploited the trust our uniforms are meant to represent. That betrayal is deeply disturbing to those of us who wear the badge with honor and responsibility.
When this sort of evil is in one of our communities, that law enforcement comes together to put all of their resources together to make sure that that person is taken into custody.
Former federal prosecutor and Holtzman Vogel partner Jonathan Fahey joins me now. Jonathan, your reaction to the suspect's arrest?
Well, it's great news that he was arrested. I just saw it this morning, and it really does show probably strong coordination with both, state, federal, local law enforcement, and they did a great job catching this guy. But I think on that earlier clip you're showing, he really is, when they say the face of evil, there's nothing better to describe what this person did other than just pure evil. To go to someone's home, kill them, just for not that there would ever be a justification, but to just show up at their door, murder them in cold blood, just truly horrific, not only for them, but the entire community around them. So great news that he was caught. Great work by law enforcement there.
Yeah, and the suspected motive is that he was targeting people who support abortion rights. He does have an online presence, and it shows that he was a devout Catholic, a pastor who preached at a church in the Congo, and one of his Facebook posts said he sought out militant Islamists in order to share the gospel and tell them that violence wasn't the answer. You just called him the face of evil. How do you go from devout Catholic to committing these crimes, wearing this mask that we see on our screen?
Yeah, because of that Jesus demon that got in him. That's the reason why.
And killing 2 people and attempting to kill 2 others.
Yeah, it's really kind of scary because it does appear that maybe just something snapped with this guy.
Yeah, the Jesus demon. That's what snapped with this guy. So anyway, here's another situation here, right? Cult leader who claims to be Jesus arrested in Russia. Sergei Torop could face up to 12 years in jail. Let's even play this video as well. Okay, they are all right. Yeah, they just showing him. So let's read what he did, man. The Russian leader of an influential religious sect who claims to be Jesus has been arrested in the depth of Siberia, police say. Sergei Torop, who was known to his followers as Vissarion was arrested alongside 2 of his aides. Russia's investigations committee alleged the group caused emotional and physical harm to their followers and extorted money. The 3 men stand accused of establishing a religious association whose activities involve violence against individuals and of inflicting grievous bodily harm to 2 or more people. A spokesperson for the committee said, according to the state media, the 59-year-old cult leader, so he was also a cult leader as well, was detained by security forces following a special operation on Tuesday that saw helicopters and armed officers surrounding the sex commune in a remote region of Siberia. So this is the 3rd case so far. Now, I'm being funny, but there's some truth to this. Could very well be some truth to this, man. So I would say, man, you best watch out for a nigga that calls himself Jesus Christ. You better watch that motherfucker, because that he got that Jesus demon in him, and he may do some harm to you, man. So anyone that calls on the name of Jesus Christ, you gotta watch a guy like that. Because maybe, okay, although I'm being funny, but again, what if I'm right? What if there's some truth to this? And I believe that there is some truth to this, personally. Okay? Now, let's read the scripture. Let's read this. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 4. For if he that preacheth another Jesus, whom we have not preached, or if you received another spirit, which ye have not received, or another gospel which ye have not accepted, you might as well bear with him. And the term Jesus wasn't even applied to the man 2,000 years ago, because they didn't speak English, for one. They spoke Greek and Hebrew and Latin. So the name, if you speak in, let's just say Greek, you would say Jesus. Or if you was a Hebrew, you would say Yahushua. That's his real name. His real name is Yahushua, not no Jesus. And as well as the elder apostles, our leaders of the Great Millstone camp that we are in, they've broke the word down several of times, and what it actually means is earth dirt. I believe the word susio, which means dirt, and the word je is earth dirt, which is a compound word, if I'm correct. So the thing of it is, that's not his name. Why would you call the Son of Man earth dirt? All right. And that's why these guys did what they did, because they had that demon on them, that Jesus demon on them, which is of a different spirit. And that's the point that I haven't bypassed, is that Jesus Christ is not the same as Yahushua. That's a different name carried with a different spirit to it. So if it ain't the spirit of the original, then what else spirit is it? What other spirit could it very well be? It's the spirit of the devil. That's what it is. All right. Now let's even read this. Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon, we'll be at 14. And we're going to begin by reading verse 12 onwards. So as this reads, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life. For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever. For by the vainglory of men they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end. Case in point. Now, in times past, these other nations have always been making gods unto themselves, into statues. All right? And this Jesus Christ figure, which we used to also acknowledge as well when we would pray, we would visualize him. And it's the white Jesus Christ. It's the anointed one depicted as a so-called white man with long, brown, blonde, stringy hair with blue eyes. And that image was actually an image painted of a real person that was alive back around the 15th century, which his name was Caesar Borgia. The Lord, who we believe according to the Bible was a so-called black man, a man of color with white woolly hair. He never looked like that image that they painted during the Renaissance period. Okay, that's a false image. And so therefore, again, that goes into what? Idolatry. Christianity is nothing more than idolatry from a spiritual sense. And also when you pray when you actually pray under the belief of being a Christian, you actually pray with that image in your mind. And you believe that that's the Messiah, when in fact that's not the Messiah. That's a concocted image that was painted during the Renaissance period. Okay? So anyway, let's read this. Thus in process of time, an ungodly custom grown strong was kept as a law, and the graven image were worshipped by the commandments of kings. Now what I would like to do is I would like to even invite another precept, and we're going to get man, I haven't read this in a while, so I don't really remember to be exact where it's at no more. I think it's in First Maccabees. I'm going to try going there. 3 and verse 48. And there's another one as well. This might be the one that I'm referring to. Yeah, this is the one. Exactly. Yeah. So, but there's two of them. There's this one and there's another one. So as this reads, and laid open the book. This is First Maccabees 3 and verse 48. And laid open the book of the Lord, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. And that's exactly what they did during the 15th century, the Renaissance period, the later 1400s. All right. They went all around Europe and tried to deface the images and painted them to be white, so-called, so that they can show themselves the faces of divinity, when in fact the faces of divinity originally looks like our people. So now let's go back and read some more in the book of Wisdom of Solomon 14. And now you know what? I've actually read the point. The point is in verse 14. Yeah, so we're at that point right now where that image is shortly come to an end, because people have renounced Christianity and left the Christian churches by the flockload. And most people are leaning towards the Messiah being a so-called man of color, especially our people as well nowadays, even though they don't really agree with the Israelite thing. But you got our people that are coming around and believing in the fact that the Lord was a so-called black man, bit by bit. All right? Because Christianity is just a pseudo doctrine that lasted for a period of time. And so it's come to an end because it's a lie. Lies only but go for so long, man. What's this?
Thousand years.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about this.
Genetics. What do you gain from going to? I
want to talk about this as well, man. This is something else I wanted to talk about. I was wondering, like, what's this? But yeah, this is a video that Vocab Malone put up, and he mentioned in this video. And what I'll do is I'll just play the video because he mentions it, right, and then I'll address that.
Good question. And not coming to no agreement with anything. Like, we believe nobody to this day has defected and gone to y'all. That is a reputable person that believes, bro. We'll get to it. You understand? Yeah, a member of GMS London did one. Yeah. How many? Well, from GMS London, one. It was one from GMS London.
And I know who he's talking about too, as we all know who he's talking about. Because I was thinking to myself, he can't certainly be talking about any of the current members, because the guys that he came down to go see are in the camp of mine. So he's got to be talking about someone who I think he's talking about, which is left, and now he's doing his own thing because of what he did to a particular brother. So I'm gonna just leave it at that, you know. And I think it was him that sent this motherfucker to come deal with us under the hopes that we could be overthrown, which that's the spirit of the devil. And so therefore it would have had to have taken the spirit of the devil to jump on that individual that used to be down with us to confide with an actual devil himself, which is Vocab Malone. All right? Just to mention.
More people have gone to your cause. Well, I'm not trying to get him in my church. I'm trying to get him to know Jesus. That's what you said. They don't need to go.
And we don't want to know Jesus because, again, as I've just shown you in these 3 videos, Jesus is a demon, man. And that's why he's a demon too. You know, and that's just the thing with these Christians. These Christians, they're under a demonic spell from the left hand side, and that demon is Jesus.
In church, they can
That's
go
what I'm
wherever.
saying, but you keep coming around like you're doing something. You ain't doing nothing, bro.
People come out.
You're really holding L's, bro. In all reality, bro.
And it's not just that, though.
It's
No,
funny,
your
you're
question
talking
is
about
valid.
me,
Hold
about
on,
my
bro.
spirit, but
This is a valid question.
Yeah. Do everything indecently in order.
Yeah,
We
here.
gotta talk.
The other reason is the Christian church doesn't really understand you guys.
Yeah, and see, this is the point that I want to address. We don't give a good goddamn if the Christians don't understand what we're talking about. The scriptures speak about how you're going to have in great number people that are not going to believe. All right. So what I want to do is I want to read. You know what? Nah, I ain't got to read that. Let's do one and better. I'm reading the first verse. Therefore, seeing we have this ministry, as we have received mercy, we faint not, but have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty, not walking in craftiness, nor handling the word of the Most High deceitfully, but by the manifestation of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience in the sight of the Most High. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, which the God of this world is Satan himself, which is right along with Jesus Christ, that demon, lest the light of the glorious gospel of the anointed, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them. Now let's get also another scripture as well. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but you know the KJV does that from time to time. It just puts scriptures out there just to read randomly anyway. But yeah, there's another scripture that I want to read as well, and it's in the book of Job. Not Job, the book of Romans, the 9th chapter. 3:3. Romans 3:3. Yeah, so as this reads, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? The Most High forbid, yet let the Most High be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. So there it is. So we don't give a shit if you believe in what we're saying or not. Just because most Christians don't believe in what we're saying does not negate the fact that we have the truth. The populace doesn't influence whether we have the truth or not. The truth is the truth. You don't need a gazillion amounts of people to believe in something that is true that makes it true. The truth is the truth even without millions of people believing in it. Okay? And so as it is written, because you're going to have a lack of belief in Yahushua among many, guess what? Many are going to perishes. That's written. There's plenty of precepts we can pull why people don't believe. Because the Lord has ordained the majority of the people that can't seem to understand what we're saying to not believe for destruction. So now let's go back and read 2nd Ezra 15. And yeah. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read this. Let's begin by reading the first verse. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, save the Lord, which the Lord hath put in our mouths, as well as these brothers over here as well. All right. And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Let me invite another precept. 1 John chapter 2 and 20. For we have an unction that we know of all things, right? And that we have a more sure word of prophecy. I think that's somewhere else. Fear not the imaginations against thee, and let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So there you go. So we're not troubled by the incredulity of those that don't believe in what we got to say. We don't give a flying shit about whether Christians don't understand or not. We don't care. Okay, because the majority of you Christians anyway are demons, and you're ordained to destruction. Now you have the elect that's going to come out of that nonsense, which we were all Christians at one time. We came out of that, and we were transformed by the renewing of our minds to the real truth and understanding of the Most High. All right, and Lord willing, we will continue to be men of the Most High in the way that we are, under the truth, unto our salvation. All right, so that's all I wanted to say on this as well. With that, I want to give all of the praise and the glory to the Most High and the Son, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kwadash, and double honor to the elder apostles of the great millstone that have taught us this truth as well. And with that, I'm closing, and I say Shalom.